Yo, what's good? What's going on, YouTube? What's going on? It's your boy Thomas from the Bronx here with my co-host Judah Ben. What's good, bro?
Peace, peace. What's going on, my G's?
Chilling, chilling, chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Same here. Likewise. Friday.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
ain't got shit
yeah,
to do tomorrow.
yeah, absolutely.
Smoky voice.
Yep, yep. So we try to go. I try to do a live every Friday, and I try to do in betweens. It's been hard to do in betweens because of scheduling and stuff like that. But I try to keep it consistent. Do a Friday. We do various topics, as people may know. We do football, boxing, baseball, wrestling. We do it all. You know what I'm saying? And today we're going to focus on two things. I wanted to continue with my boy Sock on the NFL over under team win predictions, but he's running a little bit late. So we'll start off, with some boxing. We got boxing this weekend. You know what I'm saying? We got a world heavyweight title fight tomorrow in
Mhm.
Poland between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois tomorrow. And there's some other fights on tap, throughout the day. You know what I'm saying? So Judah, what are you looking forward to as far as the fights tomorrow?
Um, I really haven't. I haven't looked at the full boxing schedule to see who's all fighting. All I know of is the Usyk and Dubois. I know Truck Lorenzo Simpson. He fought tonight, right? Or what is it tomorrow?
I'm not sure.
Truck Simpson.
Okay, I could
Because I
look up.
think I think I seen Skywalker with a he had a video scheduled for tonight. I think he might have fought tonight, Tommy. I don't know. But if he did, I missed it. I know Lorenzo was one of them fighters. He one of them prospects I'd be looking forward to seeing fight also. Cause
Okay.
I don't hardly catch him
Yeah,
as often as I would like to.
I
Cause
see.
Truck is very talented, man. I see him on the come up. Uh, I think he in 154 or he 160. I
Okay,
think he 160.
okay, I gotta look out for him. I don't think I've heard much about him until now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a part of Coach Calvin's team uh out there in Baltimore.
Okay.
Yes,
Uh,
but he's nice, Tommy.
yeah.
You'll like him, yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right. I'm gonna take a look. I'll look him up right after this. After the show, I'll look at. I always like to look at new prospects, up and coming guys, and stuff like that.
Yeah, hell yeah, me too.
And speaking of prospects, one of my favorite prospects fighting tomorrow night in the he's in the undercard of the in Oklahoma where Jared Anderson's fighting is my boy right here in New York from Brownsville, Brooklyn. Bruce Carrington, Shoo.
Mm,
8-0, 5 KOs. Fights in the featherweight division. I'm looking forward to seeing him fight
yes,
tomorrow.
sir.
Showcase. He should win. He's fighting this guy, Angel Antonio Contreras. He's 13-6, and I think 2 draws and about 7 KOs. And I don't know anything about him. I'll be completely honest. I only know about Shushu because he's a local guy here, and and if Sock was here, he'll tell you more about Shushu. He's known Shushu since he was like, I believe, 6 years old.
Wow.
So and he's the one that put me on to him. We met at his last fight. He was in the undercard of the Teofimo Lopez Josh Taylor fight. So he was
Yeah.
there, real cool dude. We got to
Okay.
speak for a little bit, and maybe one day I can have him on the show. It's very down to earth. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really stay out here in New York anymore. From what I hear, he stays out in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? But he does come from time to time. I have a friend of mine that does know, like his mom's, I think, lives across the street from like his relative or whatever. They put like a big mural or something, a big thing uh, of him right there too, which is pretty cool. So,
Oh wow.
you know, and he's from Brownsville, Brooklyn. Notable fighters out of Brownsville. Let's Go Champ. Shannon Briggs is from Brownsville, and Iron Mike is an Iron Mike from Brownsville too, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
You got
so
MOP.
yeah,
Yes,
yes,
sir.
sir. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to seeing him. He should get a W. I want to see him progress. He's one of the top prospects in boxing.
Hell yeah.
Um, Real quick, so let me touch up on this Usyk fight. real quick. So as you know, it's in Poland. A lot of people may not know or may not understand why the fight is in Poland. I had to do some research on this, and it's the only reason I found out. Well, Poland is right next to the Ukraine. And so Poland kind of, loaned the
Oh,
hospitality.
he kind of wanted to be closer to home.
No, well, actually, there's a lot of Ukrainians that kind of, are in Poland right now. Like they took them in because they, to get out of the war with the Russian invasion and shit. So
that's dope. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of Ukrainians in there, and I believe like the refugees and stuff like that. And also, I think Usyk won his very first title in Poland as well. So I expect it's going to be a large Ukrainian fan base in the arena. Who knows? I know from what I hear, Poland is a big, fight country. Like they love boxing there. So whether or not they sell or not, I'm sure they'll give some tickets to some of these Ukrainians that are over there. So that is kind of why I guess the fight they picked Poland to showcase this fight. And Usyk is the champion, and he's defending his mandatory title. I believe Dubois was the WBA mandatory for this fight. So, but he's also the IBF and the WBO champion as well. So yeah,
I said, let's get it.
Yeah. So real quick, let's go to the betting odds, and then you tell me who you think is going to win and maybe why. I think it's a big favorite, as anyone would imagine. Usyk is a minus 910 favorite, and Dubois is a plus 550 underdog. Basically, what that means for those that don't know, sports betting and gambling is that you got to lay a $910 just to win $100 on Usyk, and if you bet $100 on Dubois, you win $550. So real quick, I see that my boy Sock is coming. Before you go, Judah, hold on one second. What's good, Mr. Palmer? Socrates Palmer Jr. on tap. What's going on?
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. How's it going, Mr. Judah? How are you? Long time.
Yes, sir. I know.
Okay. All right. How's life treating you?
It's treating me great, brother. I can't complain at all.
That's what's up. Hope the family's well as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You family's good. You can't complain. Little man is getting bigger and terrorizing every day.
Exactly.
He's terrible 2.5s. Daughter Sophia, she's a couple of days away from her final year of junior high, 8th grade. So
nice.
Everybody's well.
Nice.
That's what's up.
I know. I seen my daughter last weekend. She getting big, going on 9 years old.
Time flies.
Exactly, man.
9 is a great year.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like the last remaining years of total innocence.
Exactly.
Once they hit 12, they start knowing more than they. They start knowing more than they should.
Exactly.
So.
Then it's time. Man. Then it's time to play protector.
Oh well, yeah. That's 24/7. As our fearless leader can attest to that. He's got. How old is Tamara?
Tamara is 16 years old, going on. Let me stop, because if she hears me, she's gonna come and start shit. But yeah, she's 16 and she'll be 17 in a couple months.
That's why Tom is pro Second Amendment.
Facts.
No comment. Real quick, Judah, before we go into these predictions, Skywalker, he just posted that Truck Simpson's coming up. He's the next fight.
Oh shit!
So it is tonight. You was right. He's
I'm about to Let me get my shit together.
So he's coming up now. I don't know. Sock, he was telling me about Truck. I don't know much about him. I don't know if you know anything about Truck.
I just heard of him.
Truck Simpson.
No. No, does he? I mean,
he's like,
I have no idea.
He's a prospect. He like, I want to say 6-0, 6-7-0.
Well, wait.
He won 60 middleweight, I believe. 154 or 60. He
okay.
Fighting out of Baltimore, out of Calvin camp.
Okay. All right. So he's still. I mean, his last name is Simpson, so he's still fighting Boxcar Willie. If you
Exactly, yeah.
a Simpson reference, yeah. So he's building record. Okay.
Yeah. But he's nice.
Okay.
He on his way.
Okay. 160. All right. I mean, I always think it's important, where a guy comes from. That boxing culture, and Baltimore is popping right now.
Yeah, man, Baltimore's on fire.
So, hope he has a good career. 160 is a tough neighborhood, but he's in good hands. So,
just to bring you up to speed, Sock. So when he was telling me about Truck, I was bringing up Shushu, and that he fights tomorrow. I was looking forward to him fighting tomorrow. That he's one of the top prospects, and I was telling him that I was giving him the tail of the tape, and I was telling him that we met at the last fight of the Teofimo Josh Taylor fight, and I was telling him that you knew Shushu since he was like, I believe you said 6 years old.
Yes, Shushu is one of those gifted genetic kids. I mean, he had an 8-pack in kindergarten. I know him for a long time. He was just like a boxing savant. He was always at the fights here in New York. The club shows back in like 2010, 2012.
Wow.
It was big with Lou DiBella. He had Broadway boxing, and he had showcased a lot of guys from Brooklyn, which is the same, which is where Shushu is from. Bruce Carrington, guys like Curtis Stevens when they were coming up, Jadon Codrington, although he's not really from Brooklyn, Connecticut, but he was on those cards. Hawley, and I would see this kid, literally, just in the cut. He was shadow boxing. He was talking about boxing and stuff that literally like a kindergartner should not be talking about. He was like a prodigy. So and he's always been very respectful, and I'm glad that he's getting some shine. It was a shame COVID. He could have been. Could have made more noise, because he was on the Olympic team. So,
and you know what, Sock? He was Shushu was active during that COVID era also.
He was supposed to go to the first, to the Olympics, and they postponed it, and then he just turned pro.
Yeah, because going to the Olympics, you get kind of like that more exposure, especially if
of course
you do well. So that kind of
hell yeah.
So that's why going pro, he kind of had no choice then, right?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have the same cachet like when 20 years ago, 30 years ago, but still it helps, especially when you're first signing. You get a bigger bonus, you get TV time, more readily available to you. So. But I think he's good. But he's in a tough neighborhood. Nothing's gonna be given to him. Fighting at featherweight, a junior featherweight, it's not gonna be easy.
Yeah.
Tough. But very talented.
Yeah.
Very talented.
Another year before maybe you start seeing like bigger fights. Probably maybe. But he's with Top Rank. They usually match make pretty good. So
the best. They're the best.
Right now, they are, as far as matchmaking and taking care of their fighters.
Nobody brings a prospect along better than Top Rank.
Yeah, they match them up well.
That's true. That's true.
Nobody builds stars.
Yeah,
I mean, look at this. You gotta give the devil his due. Look at their track record. The stars that they've built. They don't always stay with them, but he'll get. They become stars through Top Rank.
Yeah. So let's move forward because we want to do these NFL predictions. And so we'll just go, since I already started it. I gave the tail of the tape with Usyk versus Dubois, -910 for Usyk, +550 for Daniel Dubois. And Judah was going to tell us who he was going to pick, maybe why, and then we'll just continue from there. If Judah's there. Judah, you there?
Yeah.
So who you got? I mean, it's not a big heavyweight fight, so I understand.
It's not, yeah. I got Usyk. It's obvious. I got Usyk.
Yeah.
Experience, punch placement. Just every good notch. I got Usyk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Usyk he been to the trenches. He been there and back. He know what it takes. Like, I mean, Dubois, he's still no slouch, even though he took that L to Joe Joyce. I think that's his only L, right? Did he lose again?
No, that's his
No.
only L to Joe
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joyce.
that's his only L was with Joe Joyce.
Yeah.
And I
hmm
mean, um, like I say, Danny Dubois no slouch, but I got Usyk, man. Usyk, like I said, he's an Olympian, undisputed.
Well,
Those
not undisputed, unified.
Unified.
unified. Got you.
Right, yeah.
I mean, even
Well,
with even
correction, you're right. He was undisputed cruiserweight.
yeah,
Yeah.
Kuzma, yeah.
So yeah, you're right. He at
Uh,
cruiserweight he was undisputed.
and see, and that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
with those type of accolades, it's hard to go against a fighter, a champion of that caliber. So I got Usyk, man. I was slowly trying to give Dubois the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, I was saying all week, maybe he was a fluke with Joe Joyce, but then my conscience got to me. I'm like, don't be stupid. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? So I got Usyk all the way. Usyk is like one of those fighters that you just have to watch whenever he's on. Like Usyk is a nice talent, Eastern European. A lot of Eastern Europeans have been on the rise lately as well. Uh, you know what I'm saying? So hats off to Usyk. Shout out to Usyk. You know what I mean? In his home country. Uh, Usyk seemed like a good dude as well, man. So I got Usyk all the way, yo.
Nice,
Probably,
nice.
let me see. I'll say it might even be knockout. If I was going to say a knockout, I'll say at least round 9, 8 or 9.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Or a stoppage.
I mean,
It might be a stoppage.
it's hard to go against Usyk. The only in a fight like this, I think you're gonna get some. Maybe the only thing that could be a factor is like some intangibles. Because Usyk, you may have a letdown. Because obviously it's not the big fight that he wants.
Mhm.
Obviously he's chasing Fury. He just came off of 2 monster wins against Joshua in front of real big crowds. Now he's gonna have the crowd is gonna be in his favor. They expect they're in Poland and they're
mhm.
fighting because Poland has opened the doors for a lot of the refugees from Ukraine. That could also create a distraction. You
Yeah.
know, you have to accommodate people. You got to promote the fight. You got to, get tickets for people. That could be a distraction for him, and maybe that even not that it evens things out, but he could bring himself down to Dubois' level, and maybe Dubois has a career performance. He's the bigger guy. He's certainly not the most skilled, but I mean, he's playing with house money, right? He's playing with house money. No one expects him to even be competitive, and maybe he has the night of his life and makes it competitive. Maybe makes it ugly. And Usyk kind of I don't think there's no way he could be up the same way like when he first beat Joshua. It's just impossible. But he shouldn't have any problem with Dubois. Dubois is not a huge puncher, and I think he's very slow. And I think if Usyk is right, he should watch him. And I can see a late stoppage.
Late stoppers. Okay.
I can see a
Well,
late stoppage. Maybe he quits. A lot of people
yeah.
felt that he quit against Joe Joyce. I don't know. I'm not. I've heard people say that. Eyes are very sensitive things. But Dubois has shown that,
Mhm.
and maybe that comes back.
Well, looking at my boy D Free, he thinks that it's going to go the distance, but he's got Usyk as well. You know, Dubois the bigger guy, but here's the thing: why I'm picking Usyk by early stoppage. I'm picking Usyk in the 5th, and the reason I'm picking Usyk in the 5th is I just don't think. I think it's like you said, Dubois playing with house money. Like he took the fight as the WBA mandatory, right? But he's also coming off an ACL injury, which usually takes 6 to 9 months, maybe a year to heal. And I believe it's only been like 6 months or something like that. There's no way that injury fully healed, in my opinion. Like,
And
unless
he's a heavy guy.
and he's a big guy.
Mhm.
His last fight, he got knocked down 3 times. versus, no name guy. You know what I'm saying? And then he ended up stopping the guy. So he possesses the power, but I just don't see him moving or doing anything. I think Usyk is just going to outclass him, maybe frustrate him, and maybe he either quits or maybe he does stop him. You know what I'm saying? So that's my prediction. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I think we're all in agreement. I think Usyk will win. This fight. I'm gonna before we continue real quick, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat to see if anyone can come up. Maybe D3 come up because we're gonna talk a little bit of football coming up.
Tom, real quick.
Yes, sir.
If someone wants to make some money off this fight, what's the best way to angle your bets? Because I know that obviously Usyk's the monster favorite. What are the odds in terms of him going distance or what round?
Honestly, I only looked up the odds. So I had his minus 110 for Usyk, Dubois plus 550. I didn't look up the rounds. I could look it up in a little bit.
Okay.
But I would think if somebody wanted to make a little bit of money or didn't want to risk as much, I would think that they would try to predict a round because usually those odds are better if you pick the round or pick somebody by stoppage. Or if they're picking the underdog, obviously Dubois plus 550 underdog. If you're looking to make money and come up quick, you'd probably want to take the underdog. Right now, let me add my boy D Free to the panel. What's good, D? What's going on, bro?
What's going on? What's going on, fellas?
What's good, D?
How's it going? Good evening.
Yeah. So you want to touch up on that real quick before we continue, D? I know you said Usyk by unanimous decision.
Yeah, I hear y'all talking about a knockout, but I got a question. What's the last heavyweight that Usyk knocked out?
He's yet to knock one out.
Exactly.
He did stop.
I'm only saying that based off what going off of what Tommy was just saying. Also on Dubois' last fight, he was very shaky, and this is Usyk we talking about. Usyk.
He's a surgeon.
I'm not trying to say Usyk is like, phenomenal, like the best, heavyweight out there, but Usyk is very technical. He's quick.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Going back to what Tommy was saying, Dubois has been slacking a lot lately, especially on his speed. Dubois, when he was first coming out, he was very explosive. When Dubois first came out, he reminded me of a young Mike Tyson.
I mean, a little bit. I mean, I think the little head movement and the power that he got a little bit.
Yeah. But it's like now he totally hit a decline. And
the thing is with Usyk, we got to remember Usyk is a cruiserweight. He's a cruiserweight. When he came up to heavyweight, the thing that I noticed from Usyk is the power that he had at cruiserweight. It didn't translate at heavyweight. And when he's in there with a big puncher at a heavyweight, Usyk tends to box a lot more. He don't want to get hit with none of those big shots. He stays on the outside. So unless he happens to catch him with a big shot that the boy don't see and it rocks him, I don't see Usyk stopping him.
That's what I believe is gonna happen.
Well, that's the only possible way that Usyk get a stop it if he catch him with a shot and it actually rocks Dubois. I don't see Usyk as no big puncher, especially at the heavyweight. He wasn't even a big puncher at cruiserweight, but he definitely ain't no big puncher at heavyweight. So I don't see it stopping. And I got Usyk probably winning every single round except for maybe one. But I don't see him stopping him.
That's a fair assessment. Yeah, I'm just going by Dubois' status right now. I think he's just gonna get frustrated and just get hit a lot, like from different. But
yeah, I mean, the thing is, he don't even have to move like that. I mean, I know he's coming off a torn Achilles, and that was the reason why he got stopped in the last fight that he had. But I mean, because he was winning that fight. Actually, he was winning that fight until he tore his Achilles. And
no. He won that fight. He won the fight. He tore his Achilles. You talking about Joyce, which The Joyce fight. I thought he was winning that fight too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it mixed up. I got it mixed up.
I know what you mean though. The Joyce fight, he was winning before they stopped it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but I mean, but even like I said, he don't have to move a lot because we just saw Usyk in there with 24 rounds with AJ, and AJ ain't no big mover. AJ just got power. Same thing like Dubois. He got power. But Dubois ain't got to move that much. All he got to do is just keep Usyk honest. And if you keep Usyk honest, he'll go 12 rounds.
You're right. That's a good point with Joshua. Joshua is robotic.
We're gonna see.
And Joshua has two good knees, and he's robotic. So yeah, I mean, that's a very good point.
If Dubois is able to go the distance with Usyk, then he on the up and up.
Yeah. No, was Bellew was at cruiserweight, right? It wasn't at heavyweight.
I think that was heavyweight because he fought. Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties here. My didn't mean.
Let me guess.
You
didn't set up your laptop yet.
Not yet. I tell you, when I first brought it home, my son thought it was for him. So it's hidden in the closet, and if I go in the room, I'm gonna wake him up.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so I'm still using my phone, my Samsung Galaxy.
Good promotion.
What I was gonna say, yeah, I know, I'm getting that check from the Korean boys. What was I gonna say? When Dubois fought Joyce, I think he quit. I think he quit. And he said in interviews that he kind of panicked. I think when he comes remember, he's had all his fights in England, right? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When he knocked out that bum, Trevor Bryan, New Yorker, fraud from upstate, Don King heavyweight. I think it was over there too. Now he's going to be fighting in Poland, and they're all going to be Ukrainian. I think he's going to shrink up. He's going to shrink up. I mean, he's 25 years old, right? He has all the advantages physically against Usyk.
Yeah.
And like you said, Usyk is the smaller guy naturally, but he's been a heavyweight for over 2 years now. And that second fight with Joshua, I think Joshua gave a great effort, but he just out-hustled Joshua.
I believe he gave a great effort as well.
Great effort. And, I just think, Usyk is just he's gifted. I think the only way the fight is competitive if he is as overconfident as everyone else is about him walking through Dubois. If he doesn't take him serious, then he could, be competitive somewhat. But Usyk is night and day. I mean, he's the only heavyweight you could say is a top 5 pound for pound guy.
Because he moved up in weight, because he moved up.
That's true.
I don't dispute that. That's.
But y'all also got to remember. That Usyk is naturally a small guy. Remember, Sean Porter beat him in the amateurs.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's naturally a small guy. That's what I said. He's not a big guy like that, and he doesn't possess the power like I said. Even at cruiserweight, he wasn't no real big puncher like that. He got a couple of knockouts, but
he's 6 feet though. I mean, he's over 6 feet.
Yeah, it ain't nothing like you be like, oh wow, Usyk can punch. No, he's not that type of fighter. He's a boxer. He's not a puncher. He's a boxer.
Yeah.
He just happened to catch you. Now, stop. Going back to what you were saying. Too. Going back to what you were saying too a second ago. I believe Dubois, he had the injury in his previous fight when he got the knockout, right? Or was it?
Yeah, that's what we said. Yeah.
I mean, he's won 5 in a row. I think 5 in a row since Joyce.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
He won like 5. He's been very active. Yeah.
A lot of them wasn't televised. A lot of them wasn't televised, so you didn't know nothing about it.
And to keep it real, they probably rushed him. I mean, it was only his 11th fight when he lost to Joyce.
Because I was gonna say, do you think those injuries were starting to affect him during the Joyce fight? That's why he quit. You think some of that took part?
Well, it was his eye. It was his eye. You know. And Joyce is a big guy.
It was his eye.
Joe Joyce would make the average heavyweight quit because he's a big puncher. Although he's slow, he's a big puncher.
Yeah.
If he hits you, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna know you've been hit. He's just slow. He's one of the slowest heavyweights I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm. And also, I mean, he's 36. So when they fought in 21, he was like 34. Dubois was like 23. He's a little bit more of a man. You know, that's a factor.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know?
I don't see Usyk getting a knockout. I see Usyk winning like 11 rounds. I can see Usyk winning 11 rounds. I just don't see him getting a.
Yeah, it's probably more than likely.
He might drop him.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like I think Usyk might knock him out. I just
we're gonna see. I mean, I like everybody's take. I like D-Free's take. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it one way, and I think both scenarios can obviously happen. You know, but then we're looking at what was mentioned. Like this could be a letdown for Usyk because it's like a home fight, even though it's not in Ukraine. It's going to be a lot of Ukrainians over there, right? So you know, and usually fighting in front of your home crowd, sometimes you try to do too much. You know, you may get caught with something. You know, look at who fought home last and didn't look too good and got the win. Progress, right? He fought at home, didn't look too good.
Yes,
he got the win. You know, so it does happen, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So,
but in this, like in this type of moment, the type of situation Ukraine is going through, I don't think Usyk is gonna let his people down in this.
He better not.
This is a huge moment for him. Not only him, his country, and look at all the Ukrainians that's gonna be in the audience. He cannot drop the ball in this fight tomorrow, no matter what.
That's part of the intangible. You're right. There, I mean, they're human beings, so you know there is that pressure. You know, but
if Usyk lose tomorrow, it's gonna be like Max Schmeling when he lost to Joe Louis.
It's a good comparison.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if Usyk lose tomorrow, Tyson Fury is pulling out the Frank Ngannou fight and going to fight.
Exactly.
Nah, he ain't pulling out because he's making a lot of money in that fight.
A lot of money.
Yeah,
a lot of money.
That's a gimme. Even though we do know somebody that's picking Fury to get knocked down.
You spoke to Mrs. Ngannou?
No, Pedro.
No, he's not picking him. He says he's got a chance.
He's picking him. He asked for me to give him the odds.
I think somebody put something in Pedro's blunt.
I'm gonna give y'all.
He's smoking that hope strand.
I'm gonna give y'all 2 reasons why Usyk ain't gonna be phased in this fight. Y'all remember when he fought AJ the second time, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That man came off over a year layoff with basically no training, straight from the war, and beat AJ. Yeah. That man ain't really had no training and beat AJ.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was a bigger fight than him fighting Dubois in his hometown. That was a much bigger fight.
That motherfucker Usyk could have been whooping motherfuckers' ass at the compound when he was he could have been sparring motherfuckers at the compound.
Yeah, but see, I mean, he very well could have been, but see, Usyk strikes me as a man that's not scared of nobody.
He's a killer.
Yeah,
that's Bane. I call him Bane.
Yeah, he strikes me as a man that I mean, although I think he's a little scared of Deontay Wilder because he could have had that fight and he chose to take Dubois. But I think that man is. I don't think a lot of people put fear in that man. I don't think a lot of people put fear in that man. So
we're not gonna bash Wilder on this channel. I've told you.
I'm not bashing Wilder.
Yeah, but
it's just cap.
Sock your food.
I'm not
That was straight cap
with this guy because I've had too many arguments with him over
Far
Wilder.
as what?
Yeah.
I think. Look, as far as let's stay on topic. Anybody talk about Wilder? Usyk.
I'm talking about
Look,
Wilder.
Usyk. That's the difference between Usyk and Joshua is Usyk has been boxing his whole life. Anthony Joshua is a guy that kind of took up boxing because he probably outgrew soccer. You know, he was an Olympian and stuff, but he took up the sport late. Usyk came from that Ukrainian team that's legendary. They're going to write books about that team. Him and Lomachenko.
Usyk's one of the top 5 best amateur fighters of all times. I think it was like 358 and like 5.
Ridiculous, and just a gifted guy, a gifted fighter. I think he's just a pure fighter, and he's got that menacing look. That he means business. And Dubois is going to have to be very special tomorrow, and that I don't see that happening. Anybody interested in Jared Anderson tomorrow? Have you guys talked about that?
Nope.
No,
because that man ducked his opponent.
Exactly.
Who? Put me on game.
The guy that Big Baby was supposed to fight with his headliner fight, he pulled out because of an injury. That man is fighting on the undercard that Big Baby is on. Big Baby could have took that fight. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people thought that that man was going to beat Big Baby. A lot of people thought that man was going to beat Big Baby. So instead of Big Baby fighting him, he fought somebody that had a worse record.
It's funny. He's fighting a Ukrainian guy. I mean, the guy's got a bad record, but he's fighting a Ukrainian guy. We've seen Ukrainians
Big Baby going to stop him in the 5th round. He's going to stop him in the 5th round.
I'm just saying, I just want to throw it out there that he's Ukrainian, and the last time we seen the Ukrainian that was supposed to get beat was that guy Karen when he fought Boots, and he kind of, even though he ran most of the time, but he was awkward and kind of difficult. So like these, I'm just throwing it out there. But the guy that he's fighting is from the Ukraine.
On the undercard. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. And on the undercard, the guy that knocked out Torres is fighting as well.
The Russian?
I believe so. That's what I saw.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he's on the undercard.
He won the gold medal.
I believe he's on the undercard.
Okay. I didn't know. I haven't paid much attention. The only person I really paid attention to on that was Shushu. And we spoke about Shushu earlier. That was pretty much. But I know who you're talking about. He knocked the shit out of you.
The one person I'm looking to see out of everybody, it ain't Big Baby, it ain't Usyk. I'm looking to see that monster down there that's coming up, Abdullah Mason.
Shit! I forgot about him. You're right. Yeah, he's another big.
He's like that too.
Man, that boy's a problem.
He's a problem.
And this is like his 6th fight this year. This man is very active.
Yeah.
Damn. He fought more than Tiger Johnson last year.
Yeah. I mean, because it's like he's making short work of everybody he got. He's not taking no damage, and he's making short work. So he's like, man, I can get right back in there. I ain't taking no damage.
He had a second round KO with his last joint.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I think he only went like 3 or 4 rounds.
That's crazy because Anderson fought what 2 months ago?
Yep.
It's Charles Martin, yeah.
Shushu fought about 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Right? Because Shushu fought in May.
I think Abdullah was on his undercard too.
Yeah. On the Jared Anderson card.
He was. Yeah.
Abdullah Mason was on his undercard on that fight too.
Then Keyshawn fought that night too, did he?
Yep. Yeah. Keyshawn fought that night.
When that July, that was June 15th, July 15th, one of them.
I think it was July. Yeah. No. It was June. Yeah, it was June. It was June.
Months ago, yeah.
Yeah, it was June.
The Teofimo fight was in May, right, Sock? That was what Shushu fought, and that was a few months ago.
Yeah.
I think he froze. He's done.
I think he fought on that. I think he fought on that. I think it was like the week before Big Baby fought or something like that. I think it was like a week or 2 weeks before Big Baby fought. Shoo had
Taylor fought like June 10th or some shit like that, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
But see, Big Baby, he's been put in there. I can't really judge top ranked fighters like that unless you can just see the skills. I can't really judge how good they really are because we know that top ranked like to put their fighters in showcase fights.
Yeah.
They don't really test those guys out. They put them in showcase fights.
Charles Martin almost put his lights out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. They put him in showcase fights, but then when he get in there with somebody like if that was Charles Martin a couple of years ago, Charles Martin might would have stopped Big Baby. He might would have stopped him.
What if that was Luis
Charles Martin's always come up short, in big fights.
Yeah, but that wasn't no big fight though. That's what I'm saying.
Of course it was. That was a big fight. That was a big fight for Charles Martin.
That was a big fight for Big Baby. That wasn't no big fight for Charles Martin.
Well, if Charles Martin wins,
Charles Martin, that opens a lot of doors.
Yeah, he needs to win, right?
He gave a good showing that he's good enough to be brought back on TV.
That fight would not have put that fight wouldn't have put Charles Martin in position to fight no championship.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, no.
If he would have beat Jared Anderson, I think it would have done a lot for his career. He knocked off the top American prospect.
I think so too.
No, I don't think so.
He had a title fight after that. He would have
they probably do a rematch if he would have beat him.
They did a rematch, at this point in Charles Martin's career, he's a gatekeeper. So even if he wins,
right.
They're not putting him in no big fights. It's just he's a gatekeeper.
Yeah,
he didn't embarrass himself.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw him get stopped by 42-year-old daggone Luis.
Right.
But he looked. He had his moments against Ortiz.
Yeah,
he almost had Ortiz out of there.
But that was a 42-year-old.
I think you give Ortiz credit. I think Ortiz is closer to 45, 46.
Either way, he was supposed to get him out of there. That man old. He's supposed to get him out of there. But he ended up getting stopped by him.
Is that a Cuban joke?
Un poquito.
Yeah.
I put it this way. If that was Ortiz in the fight with Big Baby and he caught Big Baby like Charles Martin did, Big Baby would be getting up off the canvas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same. I seen Jared Anderson, not get hurt, but I seen him get hurt in like 2 fights before that fight.
No, the fight before that. It wasn't even 2 fights. It was the fight before that. He got rocked.
Yeah, he got popped.
No.
He buckled.
No, the fight. I think the fight wasn't that the fight before that. Before the dude from the Bronx, Arias.
Arias rocked him.
Yeah,
Arias was hitting Big Baby with big ass shots because that's when I was like, oh, I don't know if Big Baby ready for these guys because Big Baby was going in for the knockout, but he was getting caught the whole time he was trying to knock him out.
Yeah, that's right. Arias was the guy from Morris Park, right? He fight in the Morris Park, but the fight before that, he got hurt too. Because I forgot about that guy, the guy from the Bronx. The fight before that, he got wobbled or like he buckled.
Yeah. I think that was the fight that he almost got dropped. That was the fight he almost got dropped.
Yeah.
I think Anderson has a lot of talent, but I wonder how much he really wants it. Because sometimes when things come easy to you, you may not work as hard. And I heard he said a stupid quote.
Yeah.
That he sees himself retiring in 2 years or 3 years.
Yeah.
It's not a stupid quote. That's how he said. He said boxing is not the only thing that he likes to do. So,
now, you know what? Boxing is a very jealous. It's like a woman. If you don't love boxing, it's gonna come back and get you. Trust me.
I mean, that's the same thing that Roy Jones ended up falling a victim of later on in his career. He wanted to be a rapper. He wanted to play basketball, and he thought
he got bored.
Yeah, he thought he could just play boxing, and he got stopped multiple times.
Yeah.
But Roy, to his credit, Roy was already Roy. Roy was, at that time when Roy kind of, like you said, tried to become a celebrity, he was already a, Hall of Fame and all-time great. I think after the Ruiz fight, it was like, what else can I do? And like you said, I think boxing, you got to be committed in it. 100%.
You know what else it is with Big Baby, and it's not just Big Baby. I noticed this. A whole lot of guys from that Ohio area. It's like they don't really want to box. I think they box to get out of the neighborhood that they in. But then once they start making money, it's like, okay, they don't want to box anymore. We've seen it with Adrian Boner. We see it with Big Baby now, and we've seen it with a couple of other guys before them. It's like
Kelly Pavlik.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like when they once they make some money, they're like, okay, I want to do something else. I want to be a rapper. I want to do this. I'm like, they don't have the mentality. It's like they don't have the mentality to focus on boxing. It's like their mind be somewhere else once they make a little bit of money.
That's an interesting perspective. There is some truth to that. I mean, most fighters come from unfortunate backgrounds, right? People with money do not put their kids to get hit in the face, right? People that box because they have to, for the most part. So that's a good comparison. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
What else we got tomorrow? That's it, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, what we're looking for. I forgot about Abdullah Mason. Shame
on
me.
I got a question for y'all because we was talking about the fights tomorrow. How y'all? I know ain't nobody seen him yet because this is his pro debut. But how do y'all feel about Prince Nassim's son being a co-main event for the Usyk fight, and this is his pro debut?
Oh shit!
I'm interested to see how he looks. What weight is he fighting at?
I'm not sure. I didn't pay attention. I didn't pay attention to the weight. Yeah. I think he's fighting at welterweight, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100%
ESPN. He fight on ESPN.
No, he's. Oh yeah, ESPN. It's
okay.
Is the Usyk fight on ESPN?
It might be because it's top rank, right? Because Usyk is a top rank promotion.
It's on ESPN. It's on
gotta
ESPN.
Be, yeah.
It's on ESPN. It's the early fight. Oh no, it's the early fight. Usyk fight is the early fight. Big Baby fight is the later fight.
Yeah, because that's in Oklahoma. It's here in the States. And
I think Big Baby is fighting on ESPN.
Would be like,
it's 5 hours ahead over there. So
they'll probably fight like 5, 6 o'clock our time, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I think at the same time as the UK. I think.
Yeah, I think Big Baby is on ESPN Plus, and I think Usyk is on regular ESPN, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, but I know they're both top rank.
So.
Yeah. Speaking of prospects, there was a kid that I think he fought tonight from New York, Dante Lane. He's a middleweight. He was a big time prospect, Dante Lane, from Queens. Remember that name. Very talented middleweight.
Was he on? He's on the Gazin card.
Yes.
Okay. So
yes.
He must have fought already.
QB in the house.
Yeah, man.
Wait, Queensbridge?
Yes,
I don't know. I don't know if he's from Queensbridge, but I know he's from Queens.
Okay.
Could be.
That's where I used to live at.
You just live in Queensbridge?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Man, the best part of New York is Yonkers.
He used to live in Yonkers for a little bit. Yeah, he was in Yonkers for a little bit.
That's where I live. That's the best part of New York.
What part of Yonkers?
Yonkers dope too.
I live right there by Slowbond and Woodburn. I stayed on Marbury Street. Yeah, I stayed right by the square. I stayed on Marbury Street.
Okay.
The Yonkers is like the Bronx,
it's just like the Bronx.
Yeah.
The only difference,
not just like it, but certain areas. School Street.
Where I stayed at, it was because I was literally 5 minutes walking distance from the Bronx. But where I stayed at, it was like the Bronx. The only difference between the Bronx and where I stayed at was our stores closed at like 9, 10 o'clock. Bronx shit was still open. So anytime I wanted to go to the store, I would just walk down the street to the Bronx.
So you were like, so basically you take Broadway all the way up. I know exactly about where you were.
Yeah.
I had a friend. She used to live over there. Yeah, School Street. Yep. I know that area.
Broadway was right around the corner from me. Right around the corner.
Burks is right there. You know the Burks? It's a big Irish bar, but it's big. They have TVs. They used to have poker games back in there because I dealt there.
I've been there a couple of times.
Yeah, the big out here. I used to do poker games in the back.
Yep, exactly.
Yes, now I know. I got a better picture because that's right off the Bronx. It goes right into it. Even the Metro North is right outside.
Yep.
Yeah, now I'm visualizing it. So But yeah, so I'm gonna because last time we was talking football, me and Sock, we was doing
yes, sir.
We only did the AFC East and the NFC East, so I figured we try to continue today. D3, not only he knows boxing, he knows football as well, and so it's good to have him. Dude, I don't know what your football knowledge is. I know you know.
I hope D picks it better than the Crawford Spence fight.
I knew he was gonna do that. You're a scumbag.
Here we go.
How am I a scumbag? All I did was state a fact. 1 + 1 is 2, and D3 was wrong picking Errol Spence. That's it. Google it.
I mean, every dog have their day. Every dog have their day at least
beat
once.
the fuck out of him.
Every dog had their day at least once. I mean, out of 50 fights, I was wrong one time. Okay.
All right. Hope they don't rematch. You be wrong twice.
Hey, if they rematch, I'm going with Spence again.
0-2 is good. At least you be consistent.
Shit, all right, listen, we're just gonna.
All right, football.
We'll get into it and we'll talk about it. We're gonna go.
There's no way I was gonna let you get off. You nuts. I was just waiting for the right segue.
You ain't shit. All right, let's go to the AFC North. All right, I'm gonna start off with the Steelers. The over-under.
Fuck the
Steelers. We both hate the Steelers. The over-under, and I think D3 hates the Steelers too because he also rocks with the Ravens a little bit. But over-under is 9. Steeler wins. Over or under 9 wins. I'll start with Sock.
Wow.
And if you want to know what the price is on each one of the over-under, I got that too.
They said Pickens look good. I mean, they have good weapons. The wide receivers are pretty good. Obviously, they've got a proven coach. The running game. I think 9 is about right. So I'm going to say but I don't think they're great. I think it's a tough division. Cleveland, Cincinnati. I'm going to say not about a push. I don't think they're going to win more than 9 games.
So you're saying that you're not even picking an under. So you're taking a safe bet and a push. I mean, it's not a safe bet. It could go over under. It could go.
I think 9. I think 9 is a good number.
That's a good number because that's the only one in this division that doesn't have a half where you're going to win or lose. That one you can actually push.
Yeah. What was their record last year?
I think they won 9 games last year as well, right?
I'm going over.
I got to look at it. Well, just real quick, since it's only 9, I'll give this. It's slight, so it's really tough one. The over is -115. The under is -105, meaning the over is a slight favorite, but not by much. It's almost even. So that's pretty much the hardest one.
I'm gonna go over on, and the main reason why I'm going over is because I don't know what Cincinnati going to look like this year. That might be 2 extra wins for Pittsburgh that they probably wouldn't have got if Joe Burrow was 100%.
And they beat Cincinnati last year. I think the first game of the year with Joe Burrow. So those division games is tough, no matter how good or bad they are. So
yeah,
agree.
I'm gonna go over, and we all know. At some point, Baltimore is going to lose Lamar Jackson because it happens every year. That's why I didn't have him as my keeper in the fantasy because he's good for like the first 11 games, and then he get hurt and he's out the rest of the season, and they go into the playoffs without Lamar Jackson. So I know that they're going to lose him at some point. So yeah, I'm gonna take the over. I think they might win 10 games. I don't think they're going to go much over 9, but I think they'll win 10 games.
10-7 is pretty solid for that division. Judah, what do you think?
Man, fuck all that shit.
So
Free Colin Kaepernick. When they let Colin Kaepernick come back, I'll watch that shit again.
Okay, all right, I got you. So you're here for the show. So all right, I'm gonna go under 9, but I could see them winning 9 and a dot, but. This is mostly of my hatred for Pittsburgh. And And because I can't stand them. But D3 makes a good point. We don't know what the Bengals are going to be. I don't know what the status is with Joe Burrow. I feel like they're hiding the injury, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? He got hurt without getting touched. That's a bad. Those are always the worst injuries.
I agree.
That is a wild card. I'm gonna go under because of my hate, but I could see them going 9-8 at being a push. But I want to pick something, so I'm gonna go under. Case Avoid picks the over. I put it up there. He thinks they're gonna go over 9 wins. I'm gonna go into now. Let's go to, since we're gonna go to the favorite of the division, right? The Bengals. The over under 11.5. The under is the favorite. The under is minus 140, meaning that's the favorite to go under 11.5.
I'm gonna say under because I don't know what's up with Joe Burrow. I'm gonna say under.
I'm gonna go under as well. I think
even with Joe Burrow, I think they're gonna have a down season this year. They had 2 high seasons back to back. I think they're gonna have a down season this year. So I'm gonna go under.
Before I go to Sock, I'm gonna go under as well, and I'm kind of picking this as we talk about when we spoke about the AFC East, and we talked about Buffalo. I said the under as well. I think Buffalo's gonna have a down season, and just like D3 says with the Bengals, I believe that they're gonna have a down year as well. They also have a tough schedule because they got to play a tough division. They got to play a first place schedule. I'm picking the Bengals to go under 11.5. And it's not only because of Joe Burrow, it's because the Browns better, right? They're supposed to be better this year. The Steelers should be, pretty solid. The Steelers always give them trouble, even whether they're good or bad. They gave them comp last year. So I'm gonna go with the under 11.5. Sock.
I am gonna go as well under. I think not necessarily. I think Joe Burrow, he's been playing hurt pretty much since he came into the league. I mean, remember, Joe Burrow hurt his knees in college.
Yeah.
But Joe is a special player. He's got a lot of talent around him. But like you said, it's a tough division, and you start looking at the schedule, where they're going to get their wins from. I mean, 11-6 still gets them in the playoffs. So I can see that. So under 11.5.
That's fair. Yeah. 11-6. That's 17 games, and that's under 11.5. So that's pretty fair. Just to humor me, I'm going to ask Judah what he likes. Did he leave?
As far as what?
As far as the over under on the Bengals, 11.5. Under. Okay. All right, let's go now to the Browns. Cleveland Browns over under 9.5 wins. The over is the underdog. It's paying out plus 110 if you take the under, the favorite. So I guess it looks like Vegas is saying that they're favorite to go over 9.5 minus 130. 9.5. D3, I'll start with you.
So they were 7-7 last year.
No,
they were under. I think they were under 500.
Yeah.
Did they get a tie? They were one of the teams that got a tie last year.
I know they won 7 games. I just didn't know how many games they lost. I know they won 7.
So if they didn't tie, it would be 7-10.
I think they did have a tie.
Yeah, so it might be 7-9.
Okay. Yeah. So you know what? I'm gonna go with the push. I think they might win 9 games. I don't know because
it's not 9. They put 9.5, so they made it difficult. You got to pick one.
Oh well, I'm gonna go 9. I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go 9. Yeah, because I don't trust their head coach. Like they don't have an identity. They don't know if they want to run or if they want to pass. They don't have an identity. They got a good running back. But then at times they won't run him the ball. They take the ball out of his hand and they want to throw the ball. So I'm not really sold on the Deshaun Watson just yet. This is his first year back. I know he played 4 games last year, but he didn't look outstanding. He looked okay. So I got to see him a full season. So I'm gonna say 9. I'm gonna take the under.
Okay, this one is tough for me, and I wanna take the over here. They added So they got Cooper as receiver. They also added the kid from, I believe they got the kid, the guy from the Jets. There's Elijah Moore on the Browns now. I believe they got
Elijah Moore.
And did they get another receiver as well? I feel like they got another receiver also.
I think they got a receiver out of the draft.
Okay.
I think it was a receiver, a young receiver they got out of the draft. But I know they got Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore is a good talent, but he's also a crybaby. You know, I don't like players like that because, you know, he made a riff when he didn't like Wilson as the quarterback, right? And that's why he didn't want to play. I think it was one of the quarterbacks he did not want to play with when he was with the Jets. And I always thought he was a solid receiver. I thought he was good. But it's like you said, D. Free, the identity, what is the identity of this team? It should be running the ball, right? They have one of the best running backs in football. It should be running the ball. But I don't think we know what their identity is. They got a good tight end there as well. But I feel like the Browns are going to be a lot better. Defensively, they're pretty solid. I think they could win 10 games. I think they could go, 10-7 sounds good. Maybe 11 games. Like I said, that division, you expect them to beat up each other. We didn't get to the Ravens yet. The Ravens, you don't know because it all depends on Lamar Jackson, right? You know what I'm saying? And Lamar Jackson always seems to get hurt. They could run away with the division. All of a sudden, down goes Lamar, and who knows? So I'm gonna risk, and I'm gonna take the over. I take over 9.5. Real quick, I just want to say something before we go to the next team. Because I want to let people know that I'm looking at the chat. But
I know
Brian,
I know you're talking about BC.
Yeah. Brian, watch yourself because we're gonna bust the Rams' ass. Rams 10 wins this year. Yeah, all right. The Rams they'll be lucky to win 6 games this year. Yeah, but you knew I was gonna get at him. I took his shit. See, I
know Tom was gonna say something.
All right, we're gonna continue. I'm gonna go now.
By the way, I like the Browns over.
Oh, my fault. I thought you.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm just I'm just here for the free food.
My bad, Sock. And Judah over on the Browns 9.5 wins.
I got under
9.5. So me and Sock over. D Free and Judah are on the under, and I believe Case Savoy picked under 9.5.
I think Myles Garrett wins
too. So
I think Myles Garrett's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. I think.
Wow.
Nah, hell no.
It's
hell
tough.
No. Hell no.
I think it's either him or Max Crosby.
Though it pains me to say this, I got Michael Parsons winning Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh man, fuck out of here.
Although it pains me to say it, I think he might win Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh man.
He's not better than either one of those guys.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. He can't stop the run.
He doesn't really. It's true. He doesn't stop the run.
He's not better than Garrett.
No matter. He stopped the run. That man gets sacks.
Except against Philly, but
that's true. he was on the milk carton in that game.
Yeah, both of them. But. All right, so now let's move on to the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens over under 9.5. 9.5 over under. We're gonna start with Judah since Judah didn't lead off. We'll let Judah lead off on this one.
Yeah, I got their ass over. Baltimore always climb to at least 12 or 13 games.
Okay, and check this out. I forgot to mention the over, almost 2-1 odds, minus 180. The under plus 150. So this is how much they favor.
Oh shit!
Over 9.5 wins is the favorite. So Judah, go ahead. Sorry. So you got them winning 13 games. You said.
I say at least 12, 13.
Okay. Interesting. D Free.
See, they got their ass bust by my squad on preseason. The coach came out that motherfucker mad as hell.
24 straight games. They
picked up Odell Beckham. I'm gonna go over. I don't have them winning 13, but I can see them winning 11, 12 games.
Okay.
Yeah, like I was saying at least 12, 13. Like 12, 13, like that's their magic number.
Yeah, I can see them winning 11 and 12 games. So I'm gonna have them going over. I mean, they picked up Odell Beckham. That's the only thing that Lamar Jackson was missing last year was a big time wide receiver. He got the tight end. They got a decent running game. The only thing he was missing was a big time wide receiver. So I'm gonna take the over.
Is Odell going to play the whole season? He's cross your fingers, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think I think they will win over the over. They probably got the best coach in the division, and it's just a system about that damn organization. They're always competitive, always good. I like over. They got the best player probably in Lamar Jackson in the division.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you guys. I think the Ravens over 9.5. I'm gonna disagree with D as far as like when you talk about the running game. Their running game has not been really good. Lamar's pretty much been their running game. Their running backs seem to always get hurt.
That's what I was counting. I was counting Lamar as the running game.
Which would make it facts, right?
That's why he usually not there by the end of the year because he runs so much he ends up getting hurt.
Yeah, but the over 9.5. I mean, it'd be nice if they had a running back that could stay healthy and do something for them. I like the defense. The secondary's not bad. The secondary's pretty solid. I was high in the secondary last year, and then the first two games they gave they got lit up. I think the Dolphins lit them up the first and second game of the year.
That's the one thing about Baltimore and Pittsburgh. They always have a solid defense. Like they might start off shaky, but by the end of the year, they'll be a solid defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I expect them to be solid, defensively or all year again. I'm biased because I like the safety there. It's from Notre Dame, boy Hamilton. You know what I'm saying? So,
you already know.
Tomorrow against Navy, baby.
Yeah, they play. Yeah, Sock likes the Irish too, and D. Free likes the Irish.
Yes,
so
sir.
Patrick Queen is a very good player too.
Linebacker. Yeah.
LSU.
What's Case Savoy? He picked the over for the Ravens as well. All right, so that wraps up the AFC North. I'm gonna try to speed it up a little bit. Let's go to the NFC and let's go to the NFC North. Let's go with the Chicago Bears. Over under 7.5 is the over under. The over is the favorite. It's -140. The under +110. Over under 7.5. We'll start with Sock this time.
I'm picking. I think Chicago is a 7-10 team.
So that would be under.
Yes.
Under 7.5. Judah.
I'm gonna go ahead and give them the slight edge. I'm gonna say at least 8 games. So I'm gonna say over.
Over 7.5. I'll go next. I'll save D Free for last. I'm gonna take the over. I'm gonna be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
The division is weaker now. Minnesota's a little weaker. The Packers a little weak. We don't know what to expect from both those teams. The Lions are probably the favorite to win the division. This is the year for Fields to make or break, right? Last year he started off well, and then the turnovers killed him the second part of the year. I think 7.5. The number is pretty low for that division. I think they could win 9 games. So, and if they win 8, I'm good. So I'm picking them to win at least 9 games to go 9-8. I'm taking the over 7.5. D.
I don't like the head coach. I don't like the quarterback. I don't like the receivers. Don't really like the running back. I'm going under there. I don't got them winning more than 6 games.
Okay. That's a tough one. It's tough because as we go through these teams, we're going to be like, nah.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go right to it. I'll start off, and it's the Packers 7.5 as well. Over under 7.5, and it's the same, pretty much the same odds, except the under is a little bit. You get a little bit more money. The over is -140. The under +120. Packers over under 7.5. This is tough for me. I don't know what Love is doing. I hear he's doing well. They play in Seattle in the preseason tomorrow. I'm not sure how many reps he's going to get. I haven't seen much of him. I know they talk highly of Watson. They still have the running back there who's pretty good. Jones is pretty good. Defensively, I don't know. Last year they weren't a good team. Rodgers was there. He did the best he could. They had a chance to make the playoffs last year. They lost the last game to the Lions. I just don't think it's a good team. I'm taking the under 7.5. D, you could go next.
Yeah, I'm not confident in nothing that the Packers have right now. Their best weapon is in New York right now. So I'm gonna say Green Bay ain't gonna win more than 7 games. I'm gonna take the under.
Okay. Judah, what do you think?
I'll say over. Not by much, but I'll say at least over 7. I'll say at least 9.
Are you a Packers fan? I don't know why I think
Hell no.
No,
Fuck
okay,
no.
I'm mistaken you. I know who's a Packers fan. Stephen Elder Mack. He's
Like I'm just this is just like me years and years, watching the NFL and watching Green Bay. Green Bay is sneaky. So that's why I'm gonna say over, but not by much.
Okay.
You do realize Aaron Rodgers
might get a wild card. They might win a wild card time.
You do realize Aaron Rodgers is in New York right now.
I know. This is still Green Bay. Green Bay always been a good franchise, so you can't always just automatically write them off as a bum team. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
That's why I'm gonna say over, but not by much. At least 9 games.
And Socrates, what you got?
They might be a wild card type team.
Nah, hell no.
No, I don't see that. I think the only team that makes the playoffs in that division is whoever wins the division.
Yeah.
That's where I'm kind of leaning on. I think the Packers. Jordan Love is going to show flashes. He's got talent, but he's going to be he's a rookie basically. So I think there's going to be a lot of growing pains. They have some good players. They got good running back, good tight end. But I'm going to go with the under.
Under 7.5.
Yeah.
And K Savoy also picks the under 7.5 as well. Let's go now to the Minnesota Vikings, the Purple People Eaters. The over-under is 8.5. Favorite to go over at -125. The under plus 105. Vikings 8.5. Over/under. Sock, lead it off.
I'm going to say over. I think they have the best quarterback in the division. Not saying much, but Kirk Cousins. You look at his numbers. He's in that middle 10 to 15, right? 12 to 15, and they also have the best play in the division in Jefferson. So I'm going to go over.
Over 8.5 wins.
Yeah, I think 9-8, maybe 10-7.
Judah, what do you think?
I'm gonna say neutral. 8 games.
That's under because it's 8.5. So that means you're picking the under.
Yep, under. Yep.
Under 8.5.
I'll say about 8.
I'm gonna say this is a tough one. 8.5 is tough. I feel I don't think this Viking team is any good, but they do have the best playmaker in the division, probably one of the best playmakers in football, in Jefferson. Cousins.
Now, if this was 99,
if it was 99, different story.
Yeah.
The playoff team last year, Tom.
They were a playoff team last year. It's hard. They lost some players on defense, I think, also. I thought they lost the linebacker. Didn't Barr leave as well? Isn't Barr not on the team anymore? I don't know much about the Vikings as far as Cousins, and they lost the running back, but he's always hurt anyway. I'm gonna go over just because of the division. I'm gonna go over, and I would say they barely go over at 9 and get 9 wins, maybe a 9-8 season that may win the division 9-8. Right? The division seems bad. The team favorite to win the division we'll talk about next, but I'll segue right to D Free. What do you think? 8.5 for the Lions.
For the Vikings, I'ma say
Vikings. Excuse me, I said Lions. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'ma say for the Vikings, I'ma say they're gonna go over. They're gonna win 10 games, and I know that the Lions is favored to win the division, but the Vikings gonna win the division. I don't have faith in the Lions at all.
Okay. And then that leads us to the Lions. The Lions over/under, so they are the favorite to win the division, so you expect the number to be higher than the other 3 teams. The over/under for the Lions is 9.5, and it's favorite. It's -130 for the over, and it's even money for the under. 9.5 for the Lions. I also think this is tough with the division. And being that I picked the Vikings to go over and barely win 9, I can see the Lions winning 10 games and winning the division, right? So I'm gonna take the over for the Lions. The Lions got talent on the team on both sides of the ball, right? We just don't know, what the quarterback's gonna do, right? What is Goff gonna really do? Like he had a decent year last year. We thought, maybe his career was probably done. With the Rams, the Rams got, traded in for Stafford. They were pretty much done with Goff. They probably thought Goff was done. He did well last year. They got a nice receiver in St. Brown. They drafted a running back. They got rid of they drafted running back, but I don't know about their depth at running back because they got rid of both running backs that did well for them. I mean, Swift was always getting hurt, but he was a good running back when healthy. And then they Williams, the touchdown machine, he's also not there anymore as well. But I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna take the Lions over 9.5. I think 10 wins does it, and I think they win the division, and they finally get into the playoffs. It's been a long time for the Lions. D Free, what do you think?
Man, they lost both their running backs. Jared Goff lost his starting position in LA and got traded. I think he had a career year last year. The Lions, as a team, had a career season last year. They come back down. They come back down to earth and be one of the worst teams in the league. They going under.
Under, wow, 9.5. That's not bad. Remember one thing when taking over unders, like when I used to bet a lot, especially in over unders, like you would lean to take the unders almost every time because you're already winning when the game starts, right? So when the season starts, if you bet in the under, you're already winning. You're just trying not to lose. They have to catch up. So 9.5, 10 wins is a lot of wins. 17 games.
Yeah, I don't see them. I don't see them getting over 9. I don't see them winning more than 7 games this year.
They have a tough first game spotlight, right? They play the Chiefs first game, and I saw that they have the last game of the year against the Vikings, which will probably be for the division. I'm calling it, so I'm going over. I see 10-7. I think the DN from Michigan is a stud. I think he might be the best player in that division on defense. Hutchinson.
Yeah.
They got the other end is pretty good too. I like their wide receivers. I'm picking 10-7, and they coach. They coach. He's not the X's and O's type of guy, but he gets his team ready to play. The old cowboy player. What's his name? He was a tight end. He's a coach. Fucking head coach.
Hopkinson? No, you're talking about the tight end? Isn't
the coach for the Lions, former tight end for the Cowboys, played with the Giants. He gets some boys hype. I'm going for Lions.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Now I'm drawing a blank. Oh my God.
Nobody can tell me the head coach. Nobody can help me out.
I don't know.
I don't know why I can't get it.
I think.
I don't pay attention to the lines.
Tell us what it is because I
Dan Campbell, damn it. Dan Campbell. He gets some boys ready to play. Like I said, Hutchins.
Oh, he dropped off. Oh, he's back. Are you doing the Reno gimmick?
Hutchins is a problem. I'm going 10-7, and that last game of the year is probably going to be flex. Them and the Vikings.
Okay, and that would make my prediction good if it goes over because I picked the Vikings to go over. So if they're both 9-7 at the last game of the year, the Lions win. I win both bets, right? Fuck.
Boom.
All right, let's see if we got time. We've been on for a minute, but I'll see if we could try to fly through. It's another tough division. With a clear favorite in this division. You got 3 teams with low over-unders, and then you got 1 team with a good over-under. We're going to go into the other conference, the AFC South. I'll start it off with the Tennessee Titans, 7.5. Judah, what do you think? I'll start with you, Judah. I think I skipped you with the other one.
Tennessee 7.5.
Yes, sir.
I'll say over. I
Over
got Tennessee over. Yeah, over 7.
Okay. Stock 7.5. Tennessee Titans
Over.
over 7.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have a good head coach. Very good running back who has a lot of miles in the tires, but I'm picking them to go 9 wins.
I think over is a nice bet. 7.5. That means 8 wins. Last year, I believe they won 8 or 9 games. They missed the playoffs by 1 game. They lost with the last game of the year. But injuries killed them last year. They were looking good. Injuries seemed to do them in last year.
They got Hopkins now.
If Burks can stay healthy, that's a nice one too. He's a good receiver. When he played, he looked okay. You know what I'm saying? I think he's hurt again already this year, but whatchamacallit? I was just looking at something real quick. Sorry, Judah. Just want to let you know your boy lost. I don't know how it's just reported, but
Simpson.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the Titans, I'm going to take the over 7.5. They got one of the best running backs in the league. The mileage, like you said, is there. They use him a lot. Tannehill, some games he looks great. Some games he looks terrible, right? But with Hopkins is not going to hurt. It's a nice addition. So I'm going to take over. I think 8-9 wins. It's easy for that division. You know what I'm saying? So, D-Free, what do you think?
I'm a 7.5. I'm gonna go over. They added to the receiving core to put a little bit of help around Tannehill. So he didn't really have no receivers last year. He had somewhat of a down year last year because he didn't have no receivers. They was all injured. So Hopkins is there. Hopkins is definitely going to be the go-to guy for Tannehill. If he get in trouble, he's going to throw the ball up to Hopkins. So I'm gonna say over. They probably win 8, maybe 9 games.
Yep, and I think we're pretty much on agreement. I think we all pretty much like the over here. Even my boy Ricky, he likes the over, and Caseboy has picked the over as well. I think that's a layup. I mean, but it's tough, But if they stay healthy, I think it's an easy 8 to 9 wins because the other, Texas and Colts, I don't think they're going to be as good. I think they're going to be beaten up on. It's just the Jaguars really in that division. So let's go on to the Texans. The Texans over under is a tough one for me, but it's 6.5. I'll lead off here. This one's tough. It's favorite to go under. It's minus 150 for the under, plus 125 for the over. 6.5 wins for the Texans. There is some talent on this team, but I just don't know if they put it together. They got the quarterback from Ohio State. Not sure what he's going to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why D-Free's laughing, but I'm going to go to him next. I'm going to take the Texans under 6.5, and D-Free's going to tell us what he's laughing about because I want to laugh too.
watching the Spence fight.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Who said that?
Oh man!
But what's the over and under for Texas?
6.5.
Man, them motherfuckers ain't winning more than 3 games. You got the quarterback for Ohio State. Man, we know Ohio State don't produce no goddamn quarterbacks.
No way.
That's the reason why I picked the under for Chicago because they got Justin Fields. No, they going under 6.5. I ain't got them winning more than 3 games. I don't got them winning more than 3. Yeah, I don't got them winning more than 3 games. They going under.
Now, the Texans last year played hard for Lovie Smith. They win a lot of games. The running back is very good. From second year from out of Florida. They have a defensive mind.
He got hurt at the end of the year. I think he got hurt.
Okay.
Yeah.
They played hard. I mean, they it's going to be a new regime though. rookie QB, like my guy said over there, Ohio State is not known for good QBs. You said 7 is the number?
6.5.
I think that's a safe under. Yeah.
Safe under.
The only division they're the only division with 2 rookie QBs starting.
Yeah, because the Colts are going to start the kid from Florida. At least it seems that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you, if I remember off the top of my head, and as I put on the screen, Case of Voice said the Texans played everybody tough last year. I remember the overtime game against the Chiefs, right? And I believe they beat the Chargers last year.
Yeah.
They beat the Chargers. You know how I know that? Because they screwed me on my pool. So the knockout pools. So the Chargers were the pick. So yeah, the Texans they did me dirty, but I remember them. The Colts, not the Colts, excuse me. The Chiefs, they played hard, and the Chargers. Those are 2 games.
I think Jacoby Brissett, right? I don't know if he's still there, but I think Jacoby Brissett quarterbacked a couple of games for them.
No, Jacoby Brissett is with Washington.
Okay.
But last year, who was he with last year? I don't think
he was with the Colts. He was with the Colts.
He wasn't with the Texans. Yeah.
Yeah, he was with the Colts.
I thought he was with the Texans.
Okay.
Apologize. No, you're right. You're right. Yes, you're right.
They had that. The white guy. What's his name? As a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy they drafted.
Stills.
Stills. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Judah.
Yeah. Who? Texans.
Yeah.
Under, my sir.
Under, my sir. My friend. I take the under, my friend. That leads us to the Colts. Also 6.5 over under. These are the 2 worst teams probably in the AFC conference as a whole. 6.5, pretty much the same. Well, not the same odds. The favorite is the over 6.5 minus 115. Colts 6.5. Honestly, I don't know much about the Colts. I haven't really looked at anything with Colts related. We don't know what's going to happen with the running back. We don't know if he's staying, leaving, not playing. We don't know what's up. Rookie quarterback Richardson. The last preseason game, he didn't really impress me any in the last preseason game, to be honest. I don't know. I got to take the under here. I don't think this is a good team. I think the Colts 6.5. To be fair, I don't know much about the Colts, but I just don't see this team being good. I don't think Richardson is, quite ready to be the starter yet, to start in the NFL. I think he might get beat up a little bit, especially versus the Titans and Jaguars, who have pretty solid defensive lines. Yeah, I'm taking the under 6.5. I'll go to D Free. I'll let you go second.
I'm gonna take the under. They don't have a running back. Taylor is planning on sitting out the year. They don't have no receivers. Rookie quarterback. Offensive line is horrible. Yeah, they're not doing anything. I got them going under 6.5.
Pretty much. Judah, batting up third.
Under
6.5. Pretty much. Great analysis there. Under. I like the emphasis on under. That was beautiful. And batting up, clean up. Sock. 6.5 for the Colts.
Yeah, I think you're between the Colts and the Texans. They're probably 2 out of the 3 worst teams in the NFL. Especially if Jonathan Taylor is going to sit out. Michael Pittman Jr. is pretty good wide receiver, but yeah, they got nothing.
He's banged up too, and he seems to always get banged up.
Yeah, I think they're terrible. I think you're looking at the first 3 picks next year are going to be the Cardinals, Colts, and Texans. So so with that said, I'm with the under.
You don't think the Raiders will have a shot at getting the first pick next year?
I think the Raiders are going to be better than what people anticipate.
I'm taking a jab at you because I know you're a Raider fan. That was kind of me.
As you should.
I'm just messing with you. But it would be nice if they did, right? Because the guy that looks like to be the number 1 pick consensus right now, you don't know how college football is going to be, is the kid from USC. So,
Oh, yeah.
Heisman favorite, Caleb.
I forgot the Colts got Matt Ryan. Yeah, I'm definitely taking the under.
No, Matt Ryan is on in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, no, but they were saying that Matt Ryan was the guy that was with them last year. That's what he was.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. All right, that leads us to the favorite of the division. This is interesting. This number to me looks like a setup, right?
Oh, shit.
All right. The over-under is no half. It's a straight 10 wins.
Oh.
Over-under. And here's what's funny about this. That drew me kind of like that Vegas, because Vegas likes to throw these trick bets at you. Over-under is 10. The under 10 is the favorite at minus 145. And the underdog is the over at plus 122. I'll lead off here because I'm going into this and I'm saying it's a trick bet. Everything tells me to take the over, right? 10 wins in a not solid division. They made the playoffs last year. They won a playoff game. They beat the Chargers. They added, they got Calvin Ridley, right? That's another weapon for Lawrence. So they got Ridley and Kirk, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, right? I'm just spinning off the top of my head, but I believe Ridley's coming back next year off a suspension. Him and Kirk, they got ATN at back. They look fresh. The defense is pretty solid, right? The only problem I have with Lawrence is the turnovers. That's the only issue I have with him. It seems that the over 10 wins seems good. Like they could win 11, they could win 12 games in a bad division. But Vegas is telling you to take the under. That's what kills me. But I'm still going to ignore the trick because I feel like Vegas is tricking us here and they want us to take the over. I'm still going to take the over 10 wins in the Jaguars, but I do not like the way these odds are listed for the Jaguars at 10. Sock?
I got to go with the over. And that first game, they play the Colts on the road. Then they go to Kansas City. So could they get caught, looking ahead? I don't know. But either way, it's such a trash division. You got to go over. I mean, and they won the playoff game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They beat the Chargers.
They won the playoff game. They beat the choking Chargers. Yeah, how can you not go over? But I see what you mean. That
it looks too
Vegas.
easy.
It looks too easy.
Yeah.
Jacksonville's kind of always been that team that when you give them too much credit, they blow it. They blow it. Remember, they were one play away from going to the Super Bowl a few years ago against the Patriots.
Yep, I remember that. I remember that.
One play away, a big fumble, and everything went to shit. Like they say in France.
They was Jacksonville, one of them teams that never went to the Super Bowl, right?
Never.
Correct. The Patriots has been their albatross. They lost to the Patriots, I think, in 2 division conference championships, right?
With Brunel, they lost to the Patriots through that. Yeah, because Brunel
or to the Broncos.
Tommy.
Yes.
I don't mean to cut y'all off, but look, after we get done talking about these the overs and unders, we should do like a little small segment of what was our favorite worst plays of NFL history, because I got one of the best ones.
Okay. We'll do this division because I think we've been on a little bit too much, and we'll wrap it up. Maybe I'll do a recording and post it, the rest of the selections, because only AFC South. We still got to do NFC South, and then we got to do West division.
Next week.
But we'll finish it up with the Jags. D-Free, your turn. Well, Judah, since what'd you like over under 10 in the Jags
for Jacksonville?
Yeah,
I got under, man.
Under 10 wins. You're not going to fall for the Vegas trap because I think this is a trap bet. So he's taking the under. D-Free, what do you like?
I think y'all smoking on that goddamn Jaguar pack. Them motherfuckers is not winning no damn 10 games. I'm going under. I don't care if it's the weakest division in the world. It's the weakest division for a reason because all the teams in that division is weak. They ain't winning 10 games. They can still make it to the playoffs. They just not winning 10 games.
Ooh.
So you're
Super Bowl coach?
You're basically saying they could win. I mean, 9-8. They could win the division at 9-8. That's under. Even 8-9. We've seen teams with losing records win the division. but you got to think they're better than the other three teams. I mean, I don't see them. If they go 5-1 in the division, right? You play 6 games in the division, 5-1.
I don't necessarily believe that they're better than Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if Tennessee is healthy, it'll be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I could see them possibly winning division. I think it's going to be between them and Tennessee.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily see them better than Tennessee. And I got Tennessee winning like 9 games. So I don't think Jacksonville's going to win 10 games. That means they would have to beat all of the other people outside of their division.
So they played Tennessee week 11.
Yeah.
And then the last game of the year. Week 11, and then they played Tennessee week 11, and then week 18 at Tennessee.
Because you got to think about it. They play 6 games in the division. That's just the 6 games in the division.
Yeah.
All the rest of the games are outside of the division. So you telling me that they're gonna win? They're gonna win 4 to 5 games outside of the division?
Well, we got to see what division they're playing against. What
they play the NFC South.
They play the NFC South, so the NFC South is just as bad.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they win if they sweep their division. That's 6 games in their division if they sweep them, and then you got them winning 4 or 5 games outside of the division. I don't think they're going to sweep the division, so that means they will have to win 5 to 6, maybe 7 games outside of their division. I don't think that's going to happen.
And then they have 2 tough games. They got the Niners. They got the Bengals, the Browns. So
that means they playing. So if they playing the Browns and Bengals, they playing the AFC North. That's the division they play in the AFC, and then the NFC South, and then they play the first place teams in each division. So they got to play. That means they play Buffalo, the Chiefs, the Bengals. Right? No.
The Bills are not here. Are they?
But they finished first place. They have to play the first place team.
Yeah, they finished first place last year. They did.
Yeah. So they have to play
right. And they played. Oh, I'm sorry, and I forgot the Chiefs. They playing 3 of the top 5 teams in the NFL, probably.
Yeah, they have because you finish in first.
Yes, and they play the Bills. Right. They do play the Bills in week 4. So that's 4 top 6 teams.
Yeah, I don't got them winning more than I don't got them winning 10 games. I don't.
That's fair. I mean, look, that's why I let it off, because the odds intrigued me. I thought it looks like a setup, and Vegas is telling you that the under is the favorite. So D3 is not falling in the trap. I fell for the trap because it's minus. No, it's fair because people that don't gamble much, it's good for them to know. Like the 10 wins, like it's not even 10.5 or 9.5. It's at 10. That's like a safe number, right? And it's the under is the favorite. So like if you wanted to bet under 10, you have to risk $145 to win 100, right? But if you bet the over, you only bet 100 and you can win 122, right? So like the favorite is the under. But to me, when you look at it at first glance, right, the Jags, you look at the division, I feel like they're the better team of all the teams. Now, yes, the Titans are competitive, especially when healthy, but I feel the Jaguars are better. And I feel like the Jaguars have better talent, especially offensively, than the Titans do. I think the Titans and the Jaguars are both even when it comes to the defensive line. I would edge the Titans better defensively overall, right? But the Jags defense is no slouch either. You know what I'm saying? So the problem with the Jags is to me, it's been Lawrence because his turnovers. Even the playoff game against the Chargers, he threw 4 interceptions that first half. It's remarkable that they even came back and won that game. So, but it's just interesting. Like, and you taking the under, that's good. Me taking the over, I'm gonna look like the dummy. But it's just weird that its favorite is the under.
Yeah.
In that,
I just look at it when I look at it, I say, okay, how good is this team outside of the division?
Yeah.
I know they might be the best team in the division, but how good are they outside? And then they have the first place schedule. I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know.
So the key is those 4 games that I mentioned. So do they go 0-4 in those 4 games? The Bills. It's possible. Bills, Chiefs, Bengals,
they
Niners.
They might win 1, and I think that might be against Buffalo.
Okay. And they still got the Ravens and the Steelers.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah,
are not easy games either. So
Yeah,
I mean,
and they-
shit. I picked the over, but I can't flip. So I'm nervous now.
And you got to believe division games are tough. No matter how good you are in the division,
Right.
you have to believe that maybe.
That's what I said. I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't see them going. I don't see them sweeping the divisions. I mean, they would have to win all 6 games in the division and then win 4 games outside of the division just to get the 10 wins. And I don't see them sweeping the division.
That's very fair. I'm not going to change my pick. I'm no loser when I gamble. So, especially when I take these type of bets. So I just want to prove everybody, prove myself right again by me being wrong. So I'll stick with the over. But yeah, but it's that number to me just threw me off. So, but I like Ridley and Kirk like as the receivers, like Ridley coming back into this. He wasn't out a year for being injured, so it's not like he's coming injured. He's fresh. He's coming off, betting on games like we're doing now. So
right, and the running back is good. Yeah. And does Trevor Lawrence take that next step? Remember, Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be the next,
Yeah.
And now, Doug Peterson is an offensive coach.
That was Trevor Lawrence's rookie year? Last year was his rookie year?
Second
year.
That was his second year. Okay.
Remember, the first year was with the old Ohio State, Florida coach.
Yeah.
Who was wilding out.
No, I'm not real big on Trevor Lawrence. I was never real big on him. I think he's a system quarterback. But no, I don't see them winning more. I don't see them winning 10 games. I don't see them winning. Yeah, they probably win 9. They probably win 9. I don't see them winning more than that.
That's fair. That's very fair. I mean, this is the National Football League. It's 17 game schedules change up everything from 16 is a big difference. Winning 10 games is tough in the National Football League. I really want to take the under now, but I'm gonna stick over. Now that we're talking about it and me looking at this number. But I'm gonna stay with the over.
You ain't gonna bet on the over though.
Huh? No, I'm not. No, to you guys, I'm taking the over. To you guys and on YouTube, it's the over. But with me and my bookie, I am not touching it. So.
Now, the one thing they do play the Chiefs at home and the Niners at home.
Oh shit!
I hope they beat
and the Bengals at home. So 3 out of those 4 elite games are at home.
Yeah, we don't.
And that Jacksonville town is like a college town.
Yeah.
They get behind their team.
But in Jacksonville.
So, yeah, man.
All right,
I'm gonna
close it there. We have, so we have to wrap up the NFC South and the both West division. So I think we'll do that in another live, or maybe we'll do a video and post it, and then we'll put it out there. Because we've been on almost 2 hours. It's getting late here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to Judah and let him. He wants to share one of his remarkable moments in the NFL history. I guess we could do that, and then we could do a closing for the show. I guess we can do that. So Judah, what do you want to let them know? Where you be at, and tell us what was one of your greatest NFL moments.
Well, you know where I be. Judah Ben Israel. Like, subscribe. I do boxing talk, a little bit of gaming. I've been gaming a little bit too much lately. I need to get back to the boxing talk. I've been having a little bit too much fun.
You have, because every time I text you, you're playing some game. But yeah, that's just that should have been a sidebar, but
every time you text me, I'm playing Hitman.
Yeah, I just wanted to second that motion.
My most worst fucking horrible NFL play in history, and I'm sure all of y'all know, this nigga Mark Sanchez, when he ran face first into his center's ass and fumbled. Man, that shit is gonna forever be. That shit is gonna haunt him the rest of his fucking life.
He does have more playoff wins than Dak Prescott, though.
Me and my older brother to this day we laugh at that
Fuck
shit.
the
like,
Cowboys. For no reason.
Just for no reason.
Oh man.
You know what it is? I'm sorry. See, we cut out Judah, but you know what it is when he says that is because
From
we're
the
in a
heart.
group chat and there's guys that talk about the teams a lot, and we have to deal with the NFC East almost every day. So D, we do know a Commanders fan. We got to hear from him. Then we have a Cowboy fan, an Eagle fan, and Giant fan. So that's why he just wanted to throw that in there because a Cowboy fan who's something annoying.
Right, I know Cowboy fans be in their feelings a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man. But it's all good. It's all love.
Yeah.
That's a good memory.
D-Free, what about you?
You see my Commanders, right? You see my Commanders. But no, my worst moment. Well, it wasn't even a worst. It wasn't a worst moment for me. It was a worst moment for his dumb bonehead ass. Gus scores a goddamn touchdown.
Oh shit!
Oh man!
And runs into the daggone padding and hurts his own self.
Oh man!
That was the most boneheaded move I've ever seen in my life. I'm like,
wow.
No, we was happy, and then we got mad within a matter of like 5 seconds. I'm like, no, you scored a touchdown, and then you run into the daggone wall and hurt yourself.
He headbutted the wall.
I'm like, no, what the
Gus
fuck?
Farrat from CW Post.
That was the most boneheaded joint I ever seen in my life.
That was
you give your own self.
What team was that against? Who were they playing against? Was that a division game?
I think it was. I think it was either. Was it
San Francisco?
Oh, was it San Francisco?
I'm trying to think. It was either San Francisco. Or the Giants. It was one of the two. Because I know it was a game that we was trying to win, and I think he scored the winning touchdown, and then he headbutted the goddamn wall and gave himself a concussion. Was out the following game.
Yeah, because that was Gus Farrat headbutt. I'm looking it up now because I was. It's so fucked up. Headbutts wall. What team? I'm trying to see what team this was against.
Yo, another crazy moment for me, and this my last one. But this ain't one of my worst ones. This was probably, I'll say at a young age, this was probably one of my best moments of the NFL. When I think it was the playoff game. I think it was against Green Bay. It was Green Bay and San Fran. Remember when T.O. caught that pass in the end zone? And he got broke up, like he got hit from both sides. They popped his ass. But he
against
held
the Packers.
Yeah, that was Green Bay. He held on to that shit tight. They popped his ass, but his ass held on to that shit. And them motherfuckers won.
That was a playoff game?
Yeah, it was like a walk-off.
Yeah, it was for them to make it. It was for them to make it into the playoffs. That was for them to make it into the playoffs.
Like a wild card, yeah.
And then
they lost. I think they lost the next game though.
Yeah, that's when he started crying in the end zone and shit.
Yeah. Me and my brother used to joke, and we were saying T.O. was crying because he got broke up. But his ass got stuck. But he held on to that bitch though.
I know another bonehead ass play. I know, motherfucker Thomas remember this joint.
Well, because that's probably the one I was gonna mention. But go ahead.
Dallas versus the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh no.
All they have to do is kick the field goal and win the game. And Tony Romo fumbles the goddamn ball.
Yeah. It was the Cowboys. Yeah, that was a bonus. Yeah.
Man, Bill Parcells.
That was a good highlight because I didn't want to lose to the Cowboys.
That would have been Tony Romo's first win in the playoff, and he fumbled the goddamn ball. And it was a chip shot. I think it was like 15 yards or something.
It was a chip shot. It was right there. I was so pissed. I was already, upset. And then I was like, oh shit. And it's funny? After that play, I thought he ran it for the first down because I don't think it was 4th and goal. I think it was like 4th and short. They could have got the first down. And I was like, oh fuck, they got the first down still. but he didn't make it. So I was still kind of nervous even after that fucking play played out.
I'm like, this nigga, no, you fumbled the fucking ball. I was like, I'm glad I'm not a Cowboys fan.
Stock, what about you?
I think that was Bill Parcells' last game.
It was.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. I mean, I'm a Raider fan, so take your pick, man. I mean, between the goddamn tuck rule game.
Oh man, the tuck rule, that would build. That would.
I
make
mean,
Brady.
that was no Vaseline.
Make Brady that was the Ravens.
You know, Ice Cube, no Vaseline.
Was that the Ravens? No, Ravens don't. No, I'm thinking that the guy.
Well, the Patriots.
I don't want to talk about that.
It was the Patriots. It was
the Patriots. Yeah, because the Ravens.
Fat boy Tony Saragusa.
I knew he was gonna say that because I didn't want to say it because he passed away, and you still.
R.I.P. Rest in piss.
He hates Saragusa.
Rest in piss.
Oh wow.
He hurt my man Rich Gannon.
He was a dirty man. He was dirty. Though.
Yeah, you know what? I keep it a buck. Fuck that nigga. You know, he hurt my man Rich Gannon. You know, you know, it's what it is.
Yeah, he was dirty. No, Saragusa was a dirty player, bro.
You know, fat fuck. Cannoli and motherfucker.
He was.
I keep it 1,000. I mean, so many games to choose from. Last year, I mean, we lost to the goddamn Rams, lost to the goddamn Colts. I mean, Jeff Saturday on his couch working for ESPN, he out coaches our stupid ass coach McDaniel. So, I mean, name a game, nigga. We lost. I mean, you know how many games we lost in the fourth quarter? Up 17-0 against the fucking Chiefs on Monday Night Football. I mean, goddamn. You better, Tom. I'm gonna get you demonetized or whatever.
I'm not even monetized, so I don't.
Okay, yeah, we lost so many fucking games. It's unbelievable. Over the years,
people have said much worse, so don't worry about it.
I mean, shit. God damn.
I guess let me go before we close out, and then D3 will tell you guys where he's at, and then you know me, the obvious bonehead play. I'm not even gonna mention
the Cardinals.
That was the Lamont. Y'all were up big against the Cardinals last year.
Fucking Kyler Murray running around. Oh God.
I already know what you're about to say, Thomas.
I'm not going to mention it because it's the obvious, and everybody mentions it every other day. As a matter of fact, yesterday it was mentioned because they had an interview with Pete Carroll and Richard Sherman, and he was talking about the play. I do not want to talk about that. I'll talk about another bonehead play, which wasn't a bonehead play. It was one of the worst calls in history, and it led to the fucking replay, the fucking game against the Jets.
Yes, my man Vinny Testaverde. Yes.
The Testaverde touchdown was that shit pissed me off because, you know, Jet fans were talking shit, and Seattle wasn't good that year, and I wanted to beat the Jets, and we were winning and dominating the whole game, and the Jets came back, and that bullshit fumble, Testaverde fumble, they call it a touchdown, right? It wasn't the first.
Yeah. He was like a foot away from the fucking goal line,
and they called it a touchdown, and that led to instant replay. I think instant replay was put in place the next year. That and a couple other players, but that was the biggest bonehead play, which wasn't a Seahawk bonehead play. We all know what the big bonehead Seahawk play is, and I'm not mentioning it. All right. So, but when another bonehead play, I think of that one.
Tom, I got another one. With Steratore fucked us with the card. Fuck that motherfucker. That's another nigga I'm waiting for to get that ESPN news at the bottom. That motherfucker caught a stroke.
D3, you know what he's talking about?
A Sunday night game with
when it was like inches to the first down, and he took a card and he put the card in between the first down marker of football, and he still called it a first down.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Cocksucker.
Wow.
Cocksucker.
He did that shit on national TV though.
Played us. Fucking played us.
He smiled too when he
Yeah.
did it. You remember when he did the first down? He smiled.
Crooked motherfucker. And I'm not saying that because he's Italian. I am not insinuating that he had money in the game because he's Italian.
Oh my God, man!
Hey, I tell you one last one. Bonehead play, back-to-back plays in NFL history, and it involves my team, but it wasn't against my team. Daggone Mark Brunell and Santana Moss. A minute and 30 seconds left. Scored 14 points against Dallas Cowboys.
Oh shit!
Back to back. They got the ball, threw a Hail Mary. Santana caught it, ran it in for a touchdown. Did an onside kick, got the ball back. The same exact play. Hail Mary, Santana ball, ran it in for a touchdown. Won the game. They called him the Cowboy Killer from that point on.
Wow!
In a minute and 30 seconds.
I'm trying to remember that game. I remember Santana Moss. Shit. That's great. I gotta get that so I could troll Cowboy fans with that shit.
Yeah.
But
that's where he got the name from, Cowboy Killer. the two plays back to back, they scored 14 points in a matter of I think it was like a 30-second period.
You like your quarterback this year? You like your QB?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
If your QB plays well, you got to sleep a team.
Hey, I told Thomas this. Thomas already heard me talk about it.
Yeah.
When training camp had started, they was comparing him to a young Russell Wilson, and I kept saying, oh, they bullshitting. They speaking too highly of him. But then I started hearing more people say the same thing. So I'm like, man, I gotta watch this man play because I'm obviously missing something. So when I saw the first preseason game, I was like, okay, he doing his thing. Then I saw the game that he played Monday night. I was like, oh yeah, I think we got our quarterback. I like, yeah, I think we got our quarterback. I can see the resemblance. He can run. He can throw every pass on the field. He can make every throw. But for him to be a second-year quarterback with his third offensive coordinator in 2 years, the man looked very poised. He looked very poised behind the ball, behind the center, and I think we might have our quarterback because you got to remember he was a 5th-round pick for us, but they was projecting him to go in the 1st round. I think the year prior they was projecting him to go in the 1st round, but he decided to stay, and his stats went down a little bit because he didn't have any receivers, so he dropped down to the 5th round, and we picked him up. But yeah, I mean, he looked good to me. He looked solid.
Is Chase Young healthy? Is Chase Young? Is he healthy?
Yeah. Well, he hurt his finger. He didn't hurt his leg or anything like that. When in that preseason game, he came out because of his finger. But yeah, he's good. He's good. He practiced yesterday, and he was with the. I mean, they didn't have no pads on. It was just a walkthrough or whatever. But he was with the first team. But yeah, he's good to go.
Okay. Yeah, I think the Redskins in the over. I took the over team wins. I don't know what it is. I know. Sak, did you? I think you might have written it down. I didn't write down the last time. Today I wrote everything down, but last week I didn't. I think they probably had us at like 7.5 or something like that. I think you're right, and I think I took Washington over.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's getting late, and we've been on a minute, but this was good. I mean, I liked everybody. Was good here. We talked. We spoke some boxing. We did some football. It was pretty good. With different, concept. We took the over under on team wins. We didn't do any of the wild other predictions. We could do that next week with the other divisions. Maybe do, division winners. We maybe will give our Super Bowl picks or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But the team wins is always a fun one. I like doing that. I'm going to actually take a few, not all of them. And, in real life, I'll probably take a few bets. But yeah, but this was pretty good. This was fun. We had good perspective. We know our stuff. Maybe not on every team. It's really hard. But yeah, this was really good. So D-Free, let them know where they can find you. And then
hey, man. Yeah, y'all can catch me boxing matchups with D-Free. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursday, I do a live stream with my co-host BVO Boxing. Our podcast, Roll with the Punches. You can either go to BVO page or you can go to my page. It'll take you straight to our live stream. We got a joint live together that we do. And then on Tuesday, I do NFL at 7:15 Eastern Standard Time. And my Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursday is at 7:15 Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, and then this Saturday, tomorrow, I will be doing a live stream calling the fights for tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, y'all can find me at under boxing matchups with D-Free, and I appreciate you having me up here, Thomas. And one last thing before I go, I'm winning our fantasy football game. I'm letting you know that now. I'm winning the fantasy.
Well, we got to talk about that. I didn't do the other league that we did last year because I just thought it was a little choppy and just unorganized and stuff. That's why I was trying to set up a new one. But we'll talk about that behind the scenes. But yeah, man, D-Free does great things. I love the podcast. When I can catch it. BVO is good. He knows it. Sock, I think you would like it. BVO likes most of the fighters that you like, and then D-Free likes most of the fighters I like. So they have a good interaction. We debate a lot. I like the way the show is. They're good. BVO's funny. D-Free's funny. It's pretty good. So if you guys are listening, that podcast is pretty on point. Then we do the football. We do the football talk on Tuesdays. And I believe D-Free will continue doing that even in the regular season after the Monday night game, which is good just to recap all the games going on. So I'm in there, and there's a few other people that are up in there that represent other teams. So that's pretty good. We have good NFL talk. Last week was really good. We had.
And I will be calling NFL games this year too. I will be doing a live stream calling the games. I will be doing Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night games. I will be calling the games live.
Okay, that's cool. That's going to be tough for me because if my team's playing, or if my team loses early on, then I don't really care about anything else because I'd be mad. So, but that's pretty dope. That
I guess I won't be seeing Thomas at none of my lives.
That's fucked up. But yeah, so
I appreciate you having me up, man.
But yeah, no doubt, man. D-Free's one of he's one of the good guys. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you for putting me on a lot of things in these YouTube streets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, Sock, you could Sock doesn't have a channel, but Sock be out here too, man. He be out in New York. He be training some of these fighters, man. He be doing strength and conditioning with some of these guys. Sock, let him know.
Yeah, we're gearing up. We have a big fight September 20th. Ismaelo Villarreal. He's a 154-pound prospect. We need to redeem ourselves. He's fighting in Florida, and we need to come back and avenge our first loss. We lost to Adriel Holmes in a fight that was, it was a fight that I was very disappointed. He trains hard. Ismaelo Villarreal, like I said, junior middleweight. But he learned a lot. He's healthy. And September 20th, I believe it's going to be on Pro Box TV on a Wednesday, September 20th. I also work with Ofacio Falcone, who fought on the undercard of Edgar Berlanga a couple of months back. He's a junior lightweight. He's got about 10 fights, so he's still, making his bones. And, just
nice.
trying to see, what happens,
Yeah.
Been around the game for a while. And, but I believe the hard work will not be in vain.
Nice. I hope so too. I'm rooting for him. Ismail's a good kid, so I hope he does well. And early on, you mentioned that you knew Shushu since he was like 6 years old. You spoke about that
man.
as well.
My guy.
And then one more thing, you can also catch Sock on Saturdays on Ring Talk Worldwide. He has a segment with Pedro Fernandez, out there on the West Coast in San Francisco. Sock, they talk boxing. He has a segment on there that's sponsored by the WBC. He just dropped off, but yeah, he does that. I'm on Sundays, but Sock has, he has a little bit more segments. He kind of like put me on, so I'm still learning the ropes. But yeah, so that's where you can find Sock, and he'll be on oh, there he goes. He'll be on my channel. He's my co-host along, with Judah Ben. Judah Ben be on here with me too. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so you'll be seeing a lot of them as well as we continue. So I'm gonna sign off. We've been on here for a minute. If you guys want to stay on after I end the broadcast, it's cool. We could talk a little bit. But yeah, thank you for everybody that tuned in. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back most likely next Friday, talking more football as the season will begin. I know a lot of people be doing their fantasy drafts probably next weekend. I know I got some live in-person drafts that weekend. So yeah, thank you guys. Salute to everybody that came through. Salute to you guys on the panel.
Salute.